we have another race coming down the course, and we'll get to that just as soon as possible. Apparently, Los Gatos will finish in 4th position, and River City Rowing Club will come in 5th with Sacramento State, check that, with Newport Aquatic Center, and Sacramento State trailing.
Okay, we're in the final of the Men's Masters D. We've gone through the 250-meter mark. Of the 4 crews, Palm Beach and Rocky Mountain have shot out to a lead. They have open water on Riverside, who have about half a length on Rio Salado. Coming up to the 500, it's Palm Beach with a lead of about a canvas over Rocky Mountain. A length and a half back to Riverside, who have half a length on Rio Salado. So for your information, lane 1 is Riverside, lane 2 Palm Beach, lane 3 Rocky Mountain, and lane 4 Rio Salado. Rio Salado are pushing back at Riverside for 3rd place at the moment. Rocky Mountain have strengthened and are pushing back at Palm Beach. I'd say Palm Beach and Rocky Mountain probably level pegging at the moment, maybe a lead of inches to Palm Beach at this point. Riverside have upped their rating and have pushed away again from Rio Salado. Didn't like the fact that Rio Salado were pushing through them. Up their rating, firm their releases up, and are pushing back at the 2 crews at the front of the race. So Riverside are pushing in lane 1 to become more competitive, and it's stroke for stroke at the front of the race between Palm Beach and Rocky Mountain. As we come down towards the 1,000 meter mark, it's getting very close to each other. In fact, there's a clash of oars. There's a clash of oars. Some of the rowers in the Rocky Mountain boat have had to stop. They've separated themselves, but Palm Beach and Rocky Mountain clashed in the middle of the race course. Some of the rowers in the middle of the Rocky Mountain boat had to stop rowing or make incomplete strokes. Let's see if Riverside get themselves back into the race as a result of that.
From our vantage point, it appeared that Palm Beach Rowing Association bore out and into lane number 3 at about 800, 900 meters into our race course, and they hit oars with Rocky Mountain and have dropped back. Rocky Mountain has moved into the leadership there because Palm Beach veered out of their lane, and now both crews seem to be somewhat righted as they come along, but the Palm Beach crew, check that, the Rocky Mountain crew has taken advantage of the situation and moved into 1st position. Palm Beach was the crew that bore out, so if there's going to be any race protest on this, unofficially, I would suspect that Palm Beach would be the fouling party as they swung out into their lane number 2 and moved into lane 3 where the oars touched one another. Right now it is Rocky Mountain on the outside, currently in the lead. Palm Beach has not been able to recover, and Riverside Boat Club from Cambridge, Massachusetts, along the shoreline, was unable to take advantage of the situation, and neither was Rio Salado from Tempe, Arizona, as those 2 crews are trailing. Salado is on the far outside. The leader in the center of our course in lane number 3 is Rocky Mountain, and they were the ones that had their course impeded by Palm Beach as they swung out. Palm Beach at the time was at or near the lead, and we'll see if they have an opportunity to make it up. I would suspect that if Palm Beach winds up the victor in this particular situation, that there will be a discussion about the lane violation. Riverside Boat Club is along the shoreline, and they are not being challenged by Rio Salado on the far outside. This is the Men's Master D final, and it is our final race of the 36th annual San Diego Crew Classic.
As we see these masters coming down the final stretch of the final race of the San Diego Crew Classic, you can see just how good some of these masters rowers are. The stroke of the Rocky Mountain is a silver medalist from the '84 Olympic team, Greg Spinger, as he brings his crew home. The foul that occurred earlier on means nothing unless they can hold off the Palm Beach. They have to have a right to protest, and so they have to show well. So regardless of what happens in the protest, they still have to row very well here.
This is Rocky Mountain on the lead since just inside or just outside the 1,000-meter to go mark. This is Palm Beach. They have picked up the stroke and trying to close ground, but right now there's about a 6-seat lead, 7-seat lead in favor of Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain and Palm Beach with open water back to Riverside and several boat lengths of open water back to Rio Salado. Back to our lead, it appears that Rocky Mountain may hang on, although Palm Beach is pulling hard to try to catch up, but they have run out of room here, and our apparent winner will be Rocky Mountain. Palm Beach along the shoreline is in second spot, right in lane number 1, Riverside boat of Cambridge, Massachusetts, the apparent third place finisher, and Rio Salado will finish in that 4th position.
Wow, how exciting. Great Masters racing here in San Diego.
Yeah, really.
And we'd like to thank our many vendors who have shown up today to provide services to the wonderful people of the San Diego Crew Classic. We'd also like to acknowledge a winner at the Concept 2 rowing ergometer drawing, and that was Ron Ruiz. Ron, a new Concept 2 ergometer will be delivered directly to your door if you happen to be here. And if you're not here, then by golly, you're going to have that fine machine set on your doorstep and probably be very pleased. We'd also like to acknowledge all of the fantastic volunteers. There's no way in the world that this event could be put on without the dedicated and long hours that have been put in by the crews that are involved as volunteers here at the San Diego Crew Classic. Also like to make a quick mention that if you have a particular race that you were interested in and would like to have an absolutely beautiful souvenir of that race, you may purchase a DVD of a particular race, any one of the 90 races that we run over the last 2 weekends, or the last 2 days of this weekend. They are available in the merchandise tent that is just a little bit to the right of the Jumbotron. The tent has a ESPNU logo hanging from it, and that's where you can pick up a DVD. Please recall that there are probably 7 locations of cameras up and down this race course, and they had some outstanding close-up shots and some exciting finish shots for the crews that we saw here at the 2009 San Diego Crew Classic. We'd also like to make mention that an edited version of the San Diego Crew Classic will be aired on ESPNU on on May the 7th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it will be rebroadcast several times over the next 3 or 4 weeks. So if you'd like to see some of the action that you might have missed out on, join us on ESPNU on May the 7th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. All of that being said, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to the volunteers of the Crew Classic, and we will look forward to having you at this venue next year. And please make sure you bring along this gorgeous weather next year. tank trailer if it'll make you feel better, Bob. Hi there. We're down off of our perch and standing by.
Do you need me in that boat?
Oh, you need to take that boat out.
You want us to bring it out?
Yes.
Ryan Edwards. Ryan!
Go for Dave.
Just clean the water off the
Yeah, we're gonna drive. We're gonna be doing some maneuvering while we're